Hello, pilots. Welcome to episode 7 of the Ramjet Anvil show. I'm Zelver Nelson Jr., the developer of All Hail Spider God, Screw You Bear Dad, and Mazurka, Ghost in Italy, and today I'm very happy to be joined once again by my colleagues at Ramjet Anvil, Martin.
Hi, that's me.
And Frank.
Hey.
So, Frank, last week we spoke about the ideas behind the fusion of the Volo parachute release that was on itch.io, the experimental one, and actually bringing that over to the main Volo Airsport branch so that players of the game can switch between them at any time. So you can take it away. Tell us more about how that's actually coming to be now.
Alright, so today we are going to show you some actual progress on that. We're going to show the game and you'll see the game in our development environment and see how far we've gotten, the plans that for the future that we're thinking about. So I want to be a bit mysterious about this because I really want you to see it for yourself, how far we've gotten.
It's really impressive for like a week's work, especially because the dev environment, how it differs from what people are usually playing. It looks really funky and cool and alien. So
Let's pull it up.
Yeah. So this is the development environment. You can see all sorts of stuff going on here. You see the actual objects in the game represented in different views. On the top we have a camera that's static, that's just focused on some houses.
Let me fly past it, actually.
Yeah.
The wingsuit. We're so tiny, but you can't actually see the wingsuit dude very well. Let me move in even closer.
Yeah.
So we can fly over there. And first I'll just do a flyby so we can see ourselves pass through there. You can mostly see the UI flying along with us. And I hit something, so I died. But now what we can do is go back there. And play some music.
Come.
Exactly. It's really hard to see. We're just gonna pull up some different angles of this and edit it together.
But yeah, that's a live, in-game, seamless transition from wingsuit to parachute. Maintaining your momentum.
Exactly, that's crucial. We have all sorts of things going on right now that are not that smooth yet, but where it matters in the simulation now, it's pretty smooth. So try that a different way.
Whoa!
You see the parachute just instantly appears, but what you have to remember is that it's visually instantly popping up, but in the physics it's still actually sort of unfolding.
Yeah, so it takes like 3 seconds to be completely effective.
Think about this. Actual real-life parachutes have something called a slider, which is a piece of cloth keeping the lines of the parachute bundled together. And as it opens up, that slider is pushed down along those lines as they sort of stretch out this way. And it slows the opening of the parachute. So let me just pull this up, or pull the parachute open in midair so we can see it happen without crashing. So you can see the parachute catches a lot of air, immediately wants to slow down, and you sort of swing forward underneath it. And then eventually when you hit a low enough speed, you fall back down underneath the parachute and it actually starts flying. So let me do a couple more camera flybys.
So current implementation, even everything from the camera to the actual transition, it's a little bit broken, it's quite rough. But everything that you said last week about what you wanted to accomplish with fusing these two releases together, you essentially have it in its basic form.
Yeah, so technically say this is playable. I'm playing it right now and it works. Camera is a little bit broken, but all the puzzle pieces that we want are in place. And now I always like using the duct tape metaphor, and that's what we used last time. We're duct taping these things together first, just squishing them together and seeing how does this work. And it works, but it's not great yet, but it's a great start on the other end, and it lets us see, well, how would these puzzle pieces fit together better?
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. We have the separate wingsuit and the parachute. What's the easiest, most efficient way to bring them together to see if we can make the transition work? And we did that with some duct tape. And the result you're looking at right now. But we were actually working on this yesterday even. So this is
fresh.
Super fresh.
And
super non-polished. That's okay.
And you bring up something really interesting. You spoke about everything being built from duct tape. You find the easiest, most efficient way to do it, and then you polish over time. A lot of people don't realize that because we aren't shown much of it in traditional development environments, but that's how every game is built. Every game I've made starts out with literally just one block of text, and it's hacky and terrible, and it just expands from there. And I think, a lot of people don't realize just how much of game development is everything is broken until we give it to people. And then people are like, oh, it's a finished game, but they don't see the hundreds or even thousands of iterations that lead up to that finished final product.
Yeah, that's true. And then even in the final product, there will be duct tape. I think that's one of the... Just like the only thing guaranteed to stay the same is that things will always be changing. In game development, there is always duct tape. Maybe not everywhere, all the places you're looking, but there's always duct tape.
Yeah.
Duct tape is very hard to get rid of. So.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. So this is the current state of the parachute to wingsuit and vice versa transition in Volo Airsport. It's very, as you said, rough, incomplete, but the crucial thing is that it's getting better, right? Because I remember you showed me even some stuff from earlier today, and it looked far more rough than even what you're showing right now.
Yeah. So this is only going to get better. I think next week we will have all the other parachute features that are in the experimental build also in here, so you can edit your own parachute. Mm-hmm. We have a smooth transition from wingsuit to parachute and back, because you cannot go back from parachute to wingsuit now, and we really want to add that. So that's something you should look for in future builds, and also we're hoping to be not so far from a release with this.
Two things to add to that, which are also interesting, I think, is one, Unity 5.5, which is a new version of the game engine we use, has some tiny features built into the physics engine that we really need in order to do parachutes a little bit better. Specifically those lines you see, tying everything together, tying you to that bit of cloth that is keeping you afloat. So that'll be nice. And another thing is, these deployments are so stable that what we can also start doing is fold the parachute up visually and physically while it deploys. So it can struggle a little bit more sometimes. So right now, even though it deploys, you can see it's already kind of open in an optimal shape. We can mess that up a little bit more and make it more interesting.
Allow for a little bit more chaos, which leads to what we were saying last week about creating game simulations that actually allow for drama and emergent, exciting situations to occur.
Yeah. And that's why we do the simple duct tape approach first. Because if I started working on a way to fold up the parachute and write the code for that, and then we figure out, well, even unfolded a parachute doesn't work properly when you deploy, then that's kind of getting ahead of things. So first things first. But it's looking good.
Exciting things on the horizon, and as you can see, already playable in game. This is really, this looks really cool. I'm geeking out a little bit, but I really want. I have a very urgent desire now to wingsuit down a chasm and deploy a parachute and just smash into the earth. Just the most realistic simulation of me using a wingsuit and a parachute possible.
You know what? If that's a thing that you want in your life, then you can go to Steam or itch.io to purchase Volo Airsport. It's out right now.
Yeah.
And if you liked what you saw today, this video, you can, of course, comment, like, subscribe. We are always looking at your messages and feedback and etc. and your encouragement and your support, both financially and not financially, really drives this project forward. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Until next time,
Until
pilots.
next time.